行くぞ。
Alright, I had this game for a while on my Steam. I mean, for like a good long while. And around the time that I actually wanted to play it, I had some bad news from earlier this year of 2021. But let me just get this out of the way real quick. I have been a fan of Berserk since I was 19, and so this is when I first saw it was back in 2009, the anime, and of course the manga series. And the reason I didn't really play it was mainly the creator Kentaro Miura. He passed away on May 6th of 2021. And mainly because of him and the way that he had the aesthetics and all the way down to the blood and gore and, you know, and the way how cruel reality can be with a mix of course, you know, demons and spirits. Sorry, give me a sec there. I kind of just prolonged on playing this game, or just strayed away from it. And without him creating Berserk, we wouldn't have any of the Souls-like games from Demon Souls all the way up to, well, any type of Souls-like games that we have right now, same as the new game that's coming out next year on February, Elden Ring. But off of that sad note, let's get this game underway. And I'm just gonna let you know right now, if there's any kids that's watching this right now, you probably should not be watching this at all. And this is definitely not for the faint of heart. Let me read this prologue real quick and then we'll move on. Guts, a young mercenary carrying his large sword, was heading off to a battlefield. Yet suddenly he had found himself standing alone in a strange, unknown place. It was a world that seemed to be dyed in blood. A world of inhuman monsters, and he couldn't even recognize himself. Without a chance to comprehend his surroundings, he has to fight the monsters for his life. Okay, basic attacks, charge attacks, quick step, guard. Alright, so it's very much like Dynasty Warriors and Samurai Warriors, which I have played those games ever since I was a kid. Movement camera, display a mini-map, just strafe left or right. Okay, that's mainly for ranged attacks. Huh. Alright.
何が起きた？ここはどこだ？生贄で立ちふさがんなら切る。
alive? Yeah, he is. Can you break these? Alright. So I'm guessing that's how I get my resources. See if I can break this. Nope. It's only the ones that have the field. Okay, that's my dash. Yeah. Frenzy gauge. Attacking enemies will pull up the frenzy gauge, and the frenzy gauge is fully can activate frenzy mode. The bigger you make your combos, the faster the frenzy gauge will fill up. Alright, so if you're a fan of the Dynasty Warriors and Samurai Warriors games, and Dynasty Warriors it's called Yomusho mode, and in Samurai Warriors, I'm trying to remember, it's not called Musho. It's been a long time since I played any of those games. Frenzy mode. Once your frenzy gauge is full, push B to activate the frenzy mode. In frenzy mode, your combat abilities are strengthened and you do more damage while not losing any vitality. Frenzy levels. Each time your frenzy gauge fills up completely, your frenzy level increased by 1. For every frenzy level you gain, your combat abilities in frenzy mode are improved. Depending on your character's level, the frenzy level can increase up to 5 times. Okay. Well, as of right now, I don't really need it. Because these guys are kind of easy to cut through. You know what? Let's try it. Alright, lock on, cancel lock on is with the right stick, pushing it in. Right stick, change lock on targets left or right. You can lock on to bosses or named enemies by pressing the right stick in. When they're close enough during lock on, the camera will follow the target and any non-direction specific attacks will be automatically directed to the target. Oh, like this guy. Since their leader got decimated, they're gonna run off. That's fine. Nothing. That's a shame. Okay. Death Blow Gauge. Enemies whom you defeat while in the frenzy mode release lost souls. Collecting these lost souls will fill up your Death Blow Gauge. When Death Blow Gauge is full, you will be able to use your Death Blow attack. Obliteration. Obliteration occurs while in frenzy mode, represented by things like cutting enemies in half or sending them flying. If you manage to obliterate an enemy, large lost souls are released that fills up your Death Blow Gauge even quicker. Gauge fills up, push B to unleash devastating plus blow attack. It will continue as long as your frenzy gauge lasts, even after you perform a death blow. Okay.
これからだ。
Still swarming around in your pitiful existence, I see.
お前が欲しいんだ。
思い人は一人にする。
お前は自分の戦をするんだろ。
夢？戦の前に縁起でもね。時は乱世。ミッドランド王国とチューダー帝国は100年にも及ぶ長き戦いを繰り広げていた。戦を生りとする傭兵団は隆盛を極め、戦争は彼らのものとなっていた。ここにも戦に身を投じる傭兵が一人。
Let's see. So, I am going to be the only main protagonist in this. Give me 1 sec. Siege tower destroyed. Capital support battering ram is destroyed. Defeat the enemy garrison commander within the time limit. Defeat Bazazu. Okay. The Golden Age. Guts raised his first cries beneath his mother's corpse. Gambino, the leader of a mercenary band, took Guts in and taught him how to use a sword. Even though he was unfeeling and even cruel towards Guts, Guts still yearned for Gambino's affection. But Gambino betrayed Guts, and in an effort to protect himself, Guts ended up killing Gambino and found himself being hunted by the mercenaries. 4 solitary years later, Guts have grown into a fine warrior, and today he enters the battlefield as yet another mercenary. Operating Guts. Guts wields a sword with long reach and is able to hit multiple enemies in a wide sweep but do a large amount of damage right in front of him. In Frenzy mode, his attack, range, and power increase. By advancing in the story, you will be able to unlock sub-weapons that further broaden Guts' battle range.
大将首を上げた者には褒美は思いのままだぞ。工場兵器で城壁を越えるのだ。取り付く敵を排除せよ。
Dang it. Base/treasure chest. Bases. Around the battlefield there are army supply camps called bases. Ally reinforcements deploy from ally bases and enemy reinforcements deploy from enemy bases. You can capture an enemy base by defeating the base commander guarding it. Treasure chest. Treasure chests can be found around bases. Give a treasure chest a good hit to break it and acquire its contents. Treasure chests often contain money or recovered items.
おいおい、随分でかい剣だな。あんな長い
も振り回す気か。
若いやつは見え張りたがるからバカが。
I should probably try to get rid of the leaders as much as possible, or as fast. Leveling up. Defeating enemies and clearing scenarios will earn you experience points. When you gather enough experience points, your character's level will increase and their vitality will be restored. When reaching certain levels, your action level will increase and you'll get access to new attacks. You can check these new attacks and actions under player info. Well, alright. Alright, I need to go over there. Where do you fly off to? Alright, next base lieutenant, let's get him out of the way. Baylets, story mode. Baylets are required by fulfilling special requirements on certain missions in story mode. For every Baylet you gather, an original picture panel piece will be unlocked. Under Baylet info, accessible from the pause menu, you can check hints on how to acquire Baylets on the battlefield. Alright. Alright, let's move it up. Dash. Hold down the left stick for a few seconds to transition to a run, or you can hold A to dash. Oh, that's nice to know now. Defeat all the Midland officers.
がっぽり稼ぐぜ。
早い者勝ちだな。
Can't block that now, can you? Alright, I need to keep going after these officers. Because I know there's archers behind me, so I'm going to try to dodge them. Alright, I think I cleared out enough.
兵とは違うのだ。
Well, for it being a Omega game, it's actually a lot of fun. I haven't played anything like this for a long time. Well, luckily I jumped down here already. Oh, and they have a bunch of officers over here, which is fine.
まだ負けたわけではない。
I think there's a base down here. Oh, yep.
中の者がやってくれたようだな。全軍、城内へ突入せよ。
Morale gauge. Morale gauge represents the balance between the war effort of the two opposing armies. The more the morale gauge favors your army, the easier it will become to conquer the enemy forces. Defeating enemies and clearing missions will tip the morale gauge in your favor. The arrival of enemy reinforcements, deaths of your allies, and mission failures will all have negative impacts on the morale gauge. Alright. I'm gonna grab this. Oh, Bazazu. Okay. Alright, I'll chase him down here in a moment. Let me just get rid of this base lieutenant. I believe my frenzy's already maxed out. So let's go after Bazazu. Oh, really? All I have to do is kill 80 people and get out of here? Alright. Okay. Let's drop that down by a lot more. in all honesty, when it comes down to Dynasty Warriors and Samurai Warriors, each character that you play as, they will have their own special move sets, and you know, a lot of the charge attacks are either the same, as in on the third one is usually for crowd control, as in X, 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 and then the charge attack will be the crowd control, and then for the attacks, or grapple I should say, is 2 of the quick attacks and then the charge attack. And if I remember correctly, the light attack and then the charge will be an upswing to launch people.
何をしておる。奴を討ち取って名を上げんか。
いくらだ。俺は傭兵だぜ。あんたらと違って名誉じゃ飯食えねえんだ。
よかろう。見事奴を討ち取った暁には金貨10枚、いや7枚だぞ。
せこい野郎だ。
Alright, I'm going out to Bazazu.
小僧、後悔するぞ。銀貨7枚でその頭を叩き落とされるんだからな。ぶっ殺す。
Using Quick Step. You can dodge powerful enemy attacks and create an opening for a counterattack by pushing A. 2. Quick Step. You can also use Quick Step after an attack to decrease the wait time between attacks and continue your combo. For example, by pressing Y. A, Y, you can use a Quick Step to string together 2 charge attacks.
ケツの青い若造が戦場に立つとは、そちらは相当の兵員不足と見える。いい気になりよって。
へえ、すごいやつがいるもんだな。
ねえグリフィス、あんたとどっちが強いかな。
くだらないことを聞くな。グリフィスの方が強いに決まってるだろ。
待たれよ。技巧の腕前、誠に感服の至りこのバズーソー。
Stats. In total, there are 4 kinds of stats that defines your character on the battlefield. The stats grow as your character increases in level. Vitality. Affects how many attacks you can withstand. Attack. Affects how much damage you can inflict on your enemy. Defense. Affects the amount of damage you take. And Technique. Affects things like the duration of Frenzy Mode and the Warhorse performance. Acquiring Spoils of War. When you defeat powerful enemies, you can earn a variety of materials and equipment. You can make use of them by equipping them during combat preparations. So let's take a look through here actually. So we got 2 crude copper cuffs, which this one's for vitality, technique up, attack, technique. Guess it's just materials on that note. So that's just base stuff. Rapidity. Round recovers a small amount of vitality. So, since I'm playing as Guts, he's not very much a defensive person, just very much a offensive. So, that would be something I would take up. Picture panels. When you acquire a bayonet on the battlefield, you unlock a part of a picture panel. You can see your unlocked pieces of pictures in picture panels and completion under gallery. Was that to do with anything? I have no clue.
給料2ヶ月分と今回の報奨金だ。なあ、考え直す気はないのか？給料は3倍。士分に取り立ててもいいと言ってるんだぞ。あちらさんは俺たち傭兵にしてみりゃ夢みてえな話じゃねえか。
夢食えんのかそいつは。
待て、地位も金も保証すると言ってるんだぞ。何の不満があるんだ。
嫌いなんだよ窮屈なのは。
次。
Free mode is now available. Endless Eclipse is now playable. Well, I'm going to end this video here. If you liked what you've seen and you want more of this and you enjoyed this video, give me a thumbs up. Leave something in the comments for me to, if I should read out the subtitles, because sometimes some people have are not fast enough readers, I should say. I have plenty of friends who had that issue, and same with being just, I think it's dyslexic, where you end up reading things backwards, or words end up being kind of like rearranged on them, so it's very difficult for them to read. So it takes a good minute to process, you know, a sentence or even a paragraph. If you're new to the channel, please do subscribe, and also hit that notification bell for whenever a new video comes out. And also, with subscribing and notifying, that lets you know when I'm actually going to stream, if it's either it's just me or with my friend who's we're working with each other with each other's channels. That the first thing that we're going to be doing sometime in December, that we are actually going to be streaming Resident Evil Outbreak File 1 at the time, and we would definitely would like you guys to be with us and play alongside with us, and pretty much, you know, tell us some hints here and there, because it's been a very long time since I played Outbreak. I'm probably like really rusty on playing that game. There's gonna be so much more that's gonna be going on for the next, well, upcoming years. If anything, I would definitely want my channel to not only be something for people to sit down and watch, but also be able to interact with all of you, every single one of you, and, you know, play games side by side in a sense. And with that note, have a good rest of your time. Take care.